We're live, and yes, I don't hear the music either. I think I turned it down significantly. For those of you out there in the world, just want to say thank you for being here so early. And a special shout out to Hoove and Ruby Hoove and Liberty Hall's Cat and Staccato DDS and Tender Warrior 68. And those of you who regularly take care of your fellow man with a membership. Thank you, Ruby Hoove, for the membership. Hopefully Emma Grant gets a chance to use it. We got a few more, of course, because Liberty Hall's Cats gives a Culture Casino membership as well. For a cup of coffee, somebody gets a membership. Thank you. Oh, by the way, today is Pet Peeve Day. I figured it's the 31st, end of the month. This is a final Friday of January. And I was like, you know what is everybody's pet peeve? I know what mine is. I've got mine ready to go right after I read Mark Fields $9.99 super chat. Thank you, my friend, for 10 Culture Casino clams. Hello, CC. My cockatoos are just fine. Mouthy, but fine. Keep it up, Crusader. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I'd explain that to the guys. They did not know what your bird was. I was like, come on. Do you have Moluccans? What do you have? There are many different species, and they are one of the few birds that can move both mandibles. Interesting conversation. I know. Let's see what else out there. Can Twitter be a pet peeve? Of course it can, but it is Pet Peeve Day. The Bat Cap is in the house. We got so many of you. I feel like I skipped through a few of you. Let's get to you. Like, we've got the Maple Film Watcher. Well, yummy. I like maple syrup. Maple Leafs are cool. Good hockey team, or at least used to be. Kaladin 910 is in the house. So we've got lots of Canadians here. Look at this. Lord Thoth from the Great White North, eh? Meg Morgan King is here. I was going to say Mega Morgan King and got stopped. I don't know what tripped me up there. But we also have, I already did the Maple Leaf Watcher. Saying, I was thinking the Oscars miss... the Oscars missed 3 films: Transformers 1, Baby Girl, and The Last Showgirl. I was thinking those are, I will agree with you on both Baby Girl and The Last Showgirl. I think you'd have to sell Transformers 1 to me, but man, solid takes, my friend. Well done. Let's see. We need to get over to this part of the show. Hi, everybody. Sorry. I do not have enough light on me this morning, but it's okay. And boy, the music is quite quiet today. Pretty wild. Special thank you to all you guys. Like I said, all my wrenches. Special thank you. This is the last Friday of the month. I gotta be taking care of business because you guys are the business. We got Captain Phantom Nerd in the house. BMO Beta over there on the green machine. The lovely Jill Powers wrenching away. Watch out. Behave. She'll get you. Tom F., what's going on? Hail, chat, hail, indeed. And let's see. Tom F. is in the house. I think Tom Wells is out there, too. We've got Lee Kindler. Hey, what's up, buddy? And my good friend John Yolden from across the pond, UK. Good afternoon in the UK, everybody. It's great to see you. Our good friend Butterbiscuit 92 is here. Oh, and Mark doesn't want you to not get your daily positive vibes. So I'm with you, Mark. We got 11 Alpha in the house, of course. Mr. Cat, how you doing today? Why the F do you think why the F do I have to go through this vid? Oh, okay. I need more bumpers, more trailers. So maybe we look into some more. Let's see. I don't think I said a trailer today, but maybe I did. But yes, today's day is Pet Peeve Day. We are going to have bonus time, so we'll have time for that for sure. And let's see, Phoenix Knight for greetings and good morning, everyone. That's right, Phoenix Knight 08. Good to see you. Who else do we have? Let's see. The lovely Cynthia Carter is here. Good to see you and greetings, dear. I hope your day is special. Carlos Alfredo Lopez, what's up? And greetings, Culturians. That's right. I actually need like a Transformers voice to do that. Culturians. I don't know. Combine? No, that's like totally different thing. Anyway, all right. The Batcap's in the house. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Whoa, I'm on fire. Our good friend from up north, Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival. Check out Christian's channel for a Canadian too. Culture Casino Cash. Great content, great hair, great guy. Thank you, my friend. I love that. And that's like one of my favorite things that you used to send all the time. I know you're busy, but it's good to see you guys. We got Razorburn here. He's a rivet head. I still don't wait 30 seconds to let the ad clear. Oh, okay. I can do that. That's probably a good idea. I'll set up a mechanism to do so. That means like a bit that I can play on my side. That may be what I do next. Just play a bit before I go. That makes a lot of sense. And maybe I can play the bit that you don't like and then you don't see it. So there's that. Keep forgetting about that. Cashcaster's in the house. What's up, smoking man? Caveat Ties is over there on the green machine. And more. All right, let's get started, folks. We want to get through this one quickly, expediently, and you know it. We got a very special message from Accident Seller for 50 Norwegian krona. It says, don't vote for this Trump guy. CNN says he'll literally Hitler and Yahtzee. I said the bad word. Oh, well. We don't want to turn into a police state. Yeah. That's somebody else in 1937. Indeed. Yeah. Adolf Germany. Look. Seems to be working out pretty good over here. Not a lot of police state going on. I think we're going to go the opposite direction. Yeah, Putin asks, were the films good or not? It's that simple. Hey, there you go. Well, I will say that if you're into infidelity, Baby Girl might be your thing. Global audience for an A24 film got over $50 million. You still want more of an Oscar bump than that, but it is what it is. For some reason, though, a terrible film with terrible music, with terrible singing, with terrible performances, and Amelia Perez got nominated. Not because it was good, but because it checked every box known to man. And we're going to get a little bit into that now. All right, we got to go. We got to get on this. We got plenty of bonus time. Let's do it. I feel like something changed music-wise. There. Now you should be able to hear it. All right. I don't know what's going on. EV Mux. Well, thank you. Do-do-do-do. All right, everybody. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in. And I got to tell you, if you look, Captain Culture Wars is on top, or at least on top of people's minds as far as conversation, and it's not a positive conversation. The film itself, according to a Hollywood Reporter headline, shows Disney can't escape the culture wars. Yeah. Because that's all they talk about. In fact, their subheadline here is even more important. While the studio desperately tries to avoid politics, the stars of the upcoming Captain America movie and Spider-Man TV show are making waves for just barely slipping off message. Well, there should be no message. If the only message that you're supposed to say during the promotion period for a film or television show is, this is great, we do amazing things, we know the fans are going to love this and this and this, and that's it. That way, you don't say anything wrong. But, Anthony Mackie is unpredictable and seemed to indicate that they wanted to placate China and the rest of the globe to see if they might be interested in seeing a Disney movie. Because the last thing they need is another Marvel flop, which this thing is headed towards. Anyway, moving on, of course, we got Chris Evans saying he is never going to play. Well, he didn't say that. He just denies returning to Marvel for Avengers Doomsday. and says it's not true. I'm happily retired, and I'm happily retired that, you're happily retired. Russell Brand co-hosted Comic Relief months after BBC received the formal misconduct complaint. So nobody cares. This is something that's being perpetuated in the media. Again, detect a pattern. We talked about this yesterday. BBC Baldoni sausage, this today. Somebody is trying to willfully push him out in whatever ways they can, trying to disparage him, and I want to see evidence of this stuff. Karla Sofía Gascón racist tweets have come to light, and apparently she's gone on an apology tour. But the cautionary tale of Amelia Perez, you're always going to find something to hate about something. Believe me, I know. And that's kind of, part of being a human being is, wow, I really like that, except for this one part. Oh, I really like that, except for that song. Oh, I really like that. See, and that's fine, because you can have your opinion. The problem is that these tweets are interesting, and that this person is of differently identifying. And speaking of differently identifying, Blake Lively's lawyers won't let the actress be deposed by Bryan Freedman, probably because he would destroy her, and that would be one of the moments where she would get wrecked. They're just terrified of the truth coming out, which is Blake's a mean girl, and this was all a bunch of bologna sausage. Blake Lively and Reynolds are going to try to dismiss his case. I don't think they're going to be able to. They won't even let him depose, which means, or let her be deposed. That's a problem. It indicates a serious problem, and a judge might be a little more interested in that. Now, Paramount Global's obviously trying to deal with the current president, get rid of the whole issue with the 60 Minutes lawsuit. I think they're going to have to write a giant check as compared to what has already been written by Disney. I think this one's going to hurt. Speaking of going to hurt, well, maybe Johnny Legs won't hurt no more. He actually got a movie role. Not sure he deserved it. Not sure how big this role is, but he's going to be in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And at least he could figure out a way to complain about that. We've got Spectrum TV and Internet parent Charter Communications doing better than expected. Huge earnings this time around for a lot of different reasons, probably because they were able to mop up a lot of garbage around the Disney contracts, their carriage deal, amongst other things. And you're going to see more and more of that, and cable companies get a little bit more strength, but they're going to have to offer a variety of options that way. Oh my gosh, the AP is garbage. Avocados to autos, Trump tariffs on Canada and Mexico could hit close to home. Fearmonger, and they keep doing it about automobiles. Well, they don't say it specifically in the headline, but they give you an idea what they're talking about. And I'm going to tell you, there are still too many autos here in the U.S. that are sitting on lots that have not been purchased. So I think we'll be fine. Tesla, IBM, and Meta are bleeding most of Wall Street back. At least they did yesterday. Looked like it was a good outlook for today. This is an interesting number. And again, I'm going to call attention to the framing here where it says solid 2.3% growth. No. No, you need to be somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5, and it just wasn't. We'll have to see. We've got the inflation ticking higher, which is what has actually helped to get Wall Street to rise. But there's problems behind this idea. As the stock market opens today, it is poised to open even higher based on that particular piece of news. Now, UNRWA, 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 whatever, is complete garbage. A lot of donations have spiked over there as a way to funnel money. This is not supervised in a way that I would trust this to not be going to the adversaries in Gaza. Big problem. 5 years after Britain left the EU, the full impact is still emerging. Yeah, because it's not fully done. You guys are still entangled with those countries with those EU deals. You should, try to actually be a ally of the United States and, start to do the same things in your country. And I love you guys, by the way. I'm a huge fan of Britain. I just wish we had the same kind of reciprocal relationship that we had. We just can't with the guy you got in there now. And now we're up for bonus time because we didn't get to all the stories and we didn't get to the bear, and I took my time because it's Friday. And I don't get to do that very often. Gonna need to change the name of this show because it's not really 6 minutes anymore, ever. Even on Tuesday and Thursday when I have to rush. And you're all here and I'm all here. Yes. So let's get to it. What do we got? We got me complaining about my friends, which is hard to do. I love Britain. I love the UK. I just want you guys to be more better. I want you to, get the same happy results we're having right now. So let's take a look at this right now. Apple's iPhone sales hit the ground. Well, not really. Okay, that's hyperbole on my part. But the holiday season had the sales slipping substantially. They thought that AI would be the reason to buy the phone. I think the AI is not really a good reason to buy anything, to be fair. But there's that. And thanks, Putin's cat, for the subtle jibe. The not so subtle jibe. U.S. cybersecurity agency's future role in elections. See, this is where I have a problem. What does that mean? Can we, if they're involved in it, what their role is? I don't want any of these kinds of deep state controlled things doing this. First of all, you should be preventing all the break-ins that the Chinese state actors have been doing here in the United States. You're not doing your job. And if you are, you need to point out the people who are making this possible, because the infiltrations are ridiculous. And the fact that they have access to conduits to inside of agencies, including the Fed, give me strength. Just call it culture daily. Hey, Twisted Rally, not a bad idea. We've got the bear story finally, and I'm sorry it took so long. Folks, this is my favorite story of the day. Man's life takes a wild turn after discovering a massive 525-pound bear beneath his home. And if Scotto DDS and my other California residents are present, this is in your neighborhood. If you're anywhere near this area where the Eaton fire was, in Altadena, a man's life took a wild turn after he discovered a massive 525-pound bear lurking beneath his home. It was looking for some refuge, and the massive bear is known to locals as either Barry or Victor, found an unusual place to stay from the Eaton fire by hiding in a crawl space between a home and Altadena. The bear's extraordinary size made traditional capture methods unfeasible. Seems like a comfy guy, doesn't he? Just kind of hanging. Love the bears. It turns out it was just her husband, Putin's cat. That's funny. All right. We ended up putting a Ring camera under there that had a light on it and found out we have a giant bear under the crawl space. So, yeah, it was nerve-wracking for a while. The bear is huge. Is believed to have sought shelter during the fire, which began over 3 weeks ago in nearby Eaton Canyon. I think during the fire, he pretty much stayed in there. I think he was scared. The bear's presence also posed a challenge for SoCal gas crews who were unable to access the gas meter. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife intervened by setting up. How do you trap a bear? I see. Spreading and enticing rotisserie chicken, sardines, tomato sauce, apples, and peanut butter. They made a feast for him. Oh, this is amazing. Let me take a look. I guess there's a note I need to look at. I need to look at the note. Looking for the note. Note. I know I'm in so many of these groups. Anyway, so they made a feast for him. Neighbor Patty Smith, ooh, there's a famous old name, probably not the same person, expressed relief that the bear was unharmed. He's very harmless. He just wants some good trash. Like we all like some good trash. She also voiced concerns for the local wildlife because obviously cats may not live there very long and other things like that. But a fascinating story nonetheless. And look, I love bears, right? I just, and despite the fact that I would love to like hug on one, I have a feeling it would just eat me. That doesn't sound like fun. Yeah, that's the guy. Anyway, he's talking about placing the Ring camera under there so they can watch him. Anyway. All right, let's get back to the show and your comments. And let me read this note. It's a note. In fact, I'm going to close the window. Let's take a look at it. Bear with me, folks. Let's see. HCast. I found it. Okay. Oh, wow. Let me grab this story. Thank you. Okay, I found a note. I got a note. All right. Sorry, guys. That was super interesting, I'm sure. I'll try to explore this story. All right, let's get to some other stuff. Histophobos culture looks delicious. Thanks. All right. What was I going to talk about today? Oh, pet peeves. Yeah, but first let's get to these super chats because no chat. We'll try to make sure we don't leave any chat behind. Super chat. From Kaliki O'Ketty for 5 Culture Casino clams. Says, can't tell if this is cleansing or if God is just angry with us for the last 4 years. First the LA fires and now plane crash in DC. Yeah, that plane crash was a tragedy in so many different ways. Heartbreaking. And everybody seems to now be leaning towards the helicopter pilot error during night vision training. It did bring to light the fact that the tower was incredibly understaffed and somebody was doing 2 jobs. It's always a culmination of a variety of things, right? It's like you just stack some of these things on top of each other and you end up with calamity. And I think, we're going to try to get rid of that. Mr. Grant Gregory's in the house. Check out his channel, my good friend. Great to see you, Grant. I hope you're doing well. We need to try to have a conversation here pretty soon because I want to get that other project together for February. And now we've got SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor out there for another 5 casino clams saying, Elmo says, Smurf this cookie. I'm out. I should have been Red Hulk. I'm probably not even close to an Elmo voice. Elmo. No. I'm naturally red. I can't do it. It is because I'm not a giant. Muppets looking for work. Yeah, you are. Especially after, what Disney's going to do and evict you out of a perfectly good attraction in an area that doesn't do anything to actually block what you want to do with Monsters, Inc. If anything, doing what you're going to do, going to limit you further. And again, they don't want to exceed the envelopes that they're in now. So adding things they're not going to do. It's just the way it is. They're going to live inside a build envelope. What a tragedy. Thank you for that. We got Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival back again with another Canadian 5 Culture Casino clams. Why did the Siamese twins move to London, England? So the other one can drive. Oh, that's a good one. Well done. Love it. I appreciate it, Christian. You're amazing. All right. I was going to talk about some pet peeves today. So I'm about to go travel. And there's always a bunch that wallop me, right? I do the global entry. I do I do all the, navigate around difficulty, right? So I can literally walk through TSA without being messed with a lot. And so as I do that in the airports, and I even have clear, so literally nothing's happening, right? They shoot my eyeballs and whatever, and then I walk on through. So as I get through there, usually when I travel, I eliminated some pet peeves that I had, but it doesn't change the one where I have to use a public bathroom. And if you're traveling during the course of an entire day, it's inevitable. At some point along the way, you have to use a public restroom, which I'm fine with. I mean, it's less than ideal, privacy and all of that's a good thing. But at the same time, at the same time, I'm angry because there's a decent chance that if you have to sit down to go to the bathroom because you have, you have a couple of obligations to take care of rather than one, somebody is, at least in the men's bathroom, ladies, tell me if this is the case. Somebody has decorated the toilet seat with their urine or whatever, or they just were discourteous in the most obvious way, or just disgusting. So now I have to be like a cleaning crew. That's a pet peeve of mine. First of all, if you are a disgusting human peeing on the toilet seat, stop. But yeah, it's just a hot mess. Very frustrating. Let's see. Wes had one. Hang on. Let me see if I can grab it. Let me grab it. I don't think I can over here. That's wild. All right. Let's do this. It's Wes Trueblood. Let me get Wes's member chat because that's a pet peeve. Boom. 6 months of membership. Congratulations and thank you for that support. People who mess up axioms and idioms. Well, sure. There are a lot of things that trouble my friends. They do not like things that are imprecise. So there's that. Let's see. Marty McKay says that Ryan Reynolds helped mess up the Blade franchise and having Wesley Snipes and Chris Christopherson treated like duty. I think they were treated like duty for a lot of different reasons, but I actually understand your perspective for sure. I'm going to tell you, Mahershala Ali just kept hating all the scripts because they were going to treat him less than they did Wesley Snipes. Hang on. Apparently I needed a coffee refill. So that's a big problem. So yeah. Wesley Snipes was always going to be Blade to everybody. And just like this guy right back here is not Captain Culture War has major problems. I mean, Disney across the board screwed this film up. And so far to date have spent, I don't care what they say the budget is. That's whatever they want to say. It was at least, if not more. In fact, last I'd heard, and this is a while ago, it was around $425 million in spend. You can have a budget, but boy, can you blow your budget. And this film certainly did. So there's that. All right. But yes, I understand that pet peeve. I do. Back to the supers. Let's see what we got. No super left behind. We had a good friend, who I thanked earlier in the stream for amazing generosity each and every day. Hoove gives a Culture Casino membership. Thank you, my friend. And again, for less than a cup of coffee, you can have your very own membership and not miss out on anything. During the course of a month, we do, if you're a gold member, you get 2 movie nights. And if you're a rewards member, you get 1 movie night. And that's great. Entry levels, obviously rewards, does pretty well. We got some live streams coming up this weekend. Have to, because I'm going to be traveling after that. So it's got to be done. Captain Un-American, exactly JPS, indeed. And let's take a look here. SFXF 314 Sabretooth Raptor for another 5 Culture Casino clams says, once Epic is fully opened, Epic Universe, Disney may want to pipe in the music of Mario falling into a pit, lava, or hit by enemies. And then the game over music. Da, 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 da. Yep. I'll say that, Disney's in big trouble across the board, because the best they can come up with is bars on cruise ships and a prefab storage building as a carriage house that doesn't fit at all in the theming of either the Haunted Mansion or Splash Mountain. And I'm going to say Splash Mountain because Tiana did not work, and they know it. They know it. Tom F., some generosity in the chat. Culture Casino membership. Thank you so much for that. Much appreciated and huge, amazing, and thank you for the incredible generosity. Always Staccato DDS with 20 Culture Casino memberships. My goodness. You know what? We have not had cheddar in here for a while. Let's sling some cheddar. Here we go. And thank you very much, Staccato DDS. Thanks for the cheddar.
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys. Yeah.
Thank you again, Staccato. That's amazing. And thanks to all of you, everybody who gifts memberships. It's a real help. We get a lot more people exposed. We're bringing in more people to subscribe. Folks, we are very close to 30K. So probably before I leave, I'll have to start planning a 30K celebration. And I think that'll be coming up pretty soon. So for everybody that just received that amazing gift from Staccato DDS, do take advantage of it. We just did a watch party for everybody a couple days ago on Tuesday, and if you go back, you actually can sign up if you're a new member and watch the watch party. They're a lot of fun, and thank you again. Very generous, Staccato DDS, much appreciated, and I'm sure you know how much. So, going to be in Florida starting on the 5th, so pretty excited. Hey, Hobo Gandalf's being used over on Rumble. That's my little animated GIF. TGIF indeed. We got, that was from earlier today. We just got another one though. Hang on. Somebody was very generous just a moment ago. Staccato DDS, of course. Tom F. You guys are amazing. I just want to say thanks. You have no idea. All right. Nobody else has any pet peeves, just me. Slave Leia Casino coming soon. I think that's at 100K. I don't know. 6 is not here. She always keeps that pretty clear. There is no waxing, no matter what anybody says. 30K beard shave. I don't think so. I think that would have already been done. You keep saying Disney's in trouble. They are. But I never see side effects, Gleekyoki. When do they feel the brunt of their misactions? They are, kind of. The problem is they're being artificially kept aloft by institutional investors. Some of the smart people in the chat here have noticed a familiar pattern with lots of the blue chip stocks in that they seem to go up about every 2.5 weeks. That fits within a pay cycle. Why? Well, there's a lot of money tied in through funds and 401ks and other types of investments, because an investment's an adventure. But that's one of the reasons why you see these incremental bumps. The Disney company is great saying that they're doing something in a lot of various fancy ways, especially in their quarterly calls, that actually don't get much pushback from anybody that are in on those quarterly calls. It's interesting because if there was somebody that was genuinely interested in the company's investment in itself and in its cash cows, they would have called into question why Disney's Tron roller coaster took nearly 7 years to get built. They already had one. They had a carbon copy in China. They'd already done it before. There was nothing done differently, so on and so forth. So as you see, their earnings are down significantly. They still have some real weird debt issues. They have the thing is they can always hedge everything that they're doing against all the real estate that they have, the real estate investment. One of the things that kept Disney in a decent situation for a while was the investment in The Vacation Club. Well, the Vacation Club doesn't yield much for anybody anymore. That's an entirely different conversation, but it's very, very frustrating. So if you're an investor and you're paying attention, what's Disney offering? Nothing. They're not even keeping up with their rival down the street. They used to be well ahead. They used to be prepared. They wanted to compete with their rivals in the area. Now they don't. The attraction count is falling. There's a lot of things. And when you look at their value proposition, it's gone. All the little extras and everything else that came with a Disney vacation don't exist. And it's a real issue. So apparently I'm going to Stasio's, Italian Deli, and Market. This is what the note was about. Thank you for that. Savor the taste of Italy. All right, I'm going. But that's the problem. You can go by Disney and see that the deferred maintenance is increasing on the daily. And they're just redeveloping things. They're not really developing things. And, it's not like they don't take too much money out of your wallet just to eat. It's a real problem. And again, if you lose your fans generationally, and this is the primary reason, Kaliki Oketti, or Kalichi Oketti, the reason I say that they're in trouble is because their future is being diminished by their current actions. They are sacrificing. They're sacrificing the future for now. And that's because there's very self-centered leadership there. It's the same reason why all their investment in DEI and everything else, some of these people won't have to defend in the future. They won't be called, on the carpet for that. And that's the thing. Liberty Hall's cat sent an amazing High Rollers member chat. Thank you, Liberty Hall's, saying, pet peeve, people who do not know what the little lever on the side of the steering column is for. I'm looking at you, BMW drivers. Just kidding. Or am I? TGIF, everyone. Liberty Halls, let me say this, my friend. Let me say this. I enjoy a good turn signal, too. I like to know what your intentions are. I would like you to also not be absent from your behind the steering wheel mentally, because if you turn your signal on, you might want to pay attention to turning it off, because otherwise you're just signaling the rotation of the earth at that time, and that signal didn't really mean anything anymore. So there's that. Look at all these amazing beings. Thank you all for being here. So hopefully I got through the super chat. That was the best use of a super chat ever for $5. Well done. JPS with the cool N7 logo says, for 5 Culture Casino clams, do you think there's too much overreacting over BioWare? All the stuff I already knew was happening before Dragon Age disaster. Okay, as with anything on the internet, people are always going to overreact or underreact or not react. You're going to get a smattering of reactions. I will tell you that on one side, if you're focusing on the fact that they've been working on the next Mass Effect game for 5 years and they're not even into pre-production yet, because really that's what they're telling you. You got problems. You have big problems. They have more than enough people to have already been well down the road onto its development, and they just chose not to. So what were all those people doing for all that period of time? EA has massive issues with only a couple of games now generating revenue. One of them, the most important one, being Madden. But I guess the football club soccer game, the most recent one that came out, was widely panned and sales were down considerably on a soccer property. I think after they lost the FIFA license deal, and we talked about this a little bit. I think Marvin and I did a little bit, but once they lost that deal, they were kind of going to hurt. For EA, it's about the IPs that they rent. So if they ever lose the Madden franchise, that's going to be a problem. And Madden has not been offering very much for a very long time. Very little differentiation from year to year, other than maybe rosters. And they put a lot of stuff in there. I mean, we already knew the games that they were working on, but apparently they weren't working very hard. Dragon Age: The Veilguard, me and my team had been calling that out for over a year and a half, that it was going to have many issues coming in because it was so laden with messaging, which is something we're fighting with now. Same thing Disney's fighting with. You're fighting your audience to try to force things in place that general society with, that's liberty minded isn't going to do. And, there's that. It's really strange when you can actually listen in to stuff. At least I think so. And Istophobos is correct. I mean, the game companies don't have their talent. Most of the talent moved on, got old, retired. You have to consider the founders of Rocksteady were essentially encouraged to leave. There's a problem. When you start to look at why these studios are collapsing, it's pretty obvious. They ramped up. They got too many bodies for too little work. It's kind of predictable, I think. We got a message here from a tipping barn for 5. Coach Casino Cash saying, was listening to the old Disney afternoon soundtrack the other day. The creativity, passion put into their animations back in the 90s is a far cry from today. Yes. Yes. Well done. I agree 100%. I mean, walk around the parks now. The park environmental music is less than inspiring, right? The old entry loop is for Epcot still one of my favorite things. And Tomorrowland used to be as well, but not anymore. Not anymore. We got another message from our good friend Staccato DDS. Oh, wow. I wish they could. I'm pretty sure some of the things have to do with some qualifying elements, including their value in the market. I don't think they can, but that'd be fun. I think this was sarcasm. I agree. With $10 worth of super chat, Dow needs to delist Disney. That's not happening. But they're not in that kind of trouble. I'm just saying, and I think a lot of people, when they look at it, they look at the biggest possible picture for Disney. It's the same thing that I would imagine that Pro would say, Jonas would say, our favorite Louisianan would say that. I mean, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And they do that across the board in a lot of different ways. Somebody has yet to present to me an effective argument that releasing a film into theaters and then streaming it 45 days later is an effective, positive business model. I don't see the upside of streaming. I haven't for a long time. There are companies where it works because they release their material to offer to others. Netflix is an example of that, and people would go there to do that. Studios doing it directly doesn't make sense. So that's crazy. We got another gifty of a membership from our good friend West Trueblood III. Thank you. But no, I wouldn't suggest that the stock be delisted. That's not what I'm saying. I think you probably know that. I think it was pretty sarcastic. I'd love to talk to Valiant about that. I'll have opportunity in Florida, and I get a chance to visit. Comics Division has been playing Veilguard, and it's just as terrible as you'd expect. Oh, I know. I know. So did Marvin. I'm going to hurt myself, apparently, on Assassin's Creed Shadows, so y'all will be able to watch me suffer that as well. Here's a weird thing. I'm missing Weatherman. I hope his headache didn't overcome him today. Weatherman. I still can't believe. Yes, let's delist Disney. Sorry. That's just funny. Let's see. But thanks, Wes, for gifting Culture Casino membership out there. And thanks, Davina, for bringing my attention to the fact that big comics is suffering, and we're good with that. Love it when Ian is uncomfortable. There she is. Penny. Hey, dear. Epic Universe Orlando is going to eat Disney's lunch. Yeah. Okay, so I will. I'll tell you this. In Disney World, they're going to experience a 24 to 30% drop in traffic when Epic Universe opens. It may not be that stiff right away, but within a few months, especially after word of mouth, it's not like Wizarding World didn't kick them in the kidney. It did. They thought they were going to lift some of that with the investment in Pandora and Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is underwhelming. Oh, that's true. The Dow is an index removal. You're right. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's a drag on the Dow. Thank you. Yeah. But wait a minute. Staccato thinks that Disney's going to fall out of the Dow? Oh, we need to revisit that later. That's a good conversation with Valiant. Who would you replace them with, Staccato? Because there's not a lot of companies that operate in the same vein. I'm curious. All right, Mr. Stock's here. Who else is here? 11 Alpha's here. Who would you replace him with? If it happens in the next 18 months, it's possible. It couldn't argue with it, but who do you replace them with? Oh, thank you, Mr. Cat, coming in. FAA's closed copter routes near Reagan. That's weird. George says, and Disney will just raise prices at the park to make up for the loss of market share, which will drive less people to come. You know what? I think you could make a good argument for that, because seriously, Walt Disney World is such a giant part of operating. Man. All right, I'm going to go look. I'm going to spend this afternoon kind of dinking on that. SFX F314 Saber Tooth Raptor for 5 more Culture Casino cash says, I think I will stick to Mario at this time. None of the other new games so far have pulled my strings to play. Thoughts on upcoming Mario games? Well, we're going to get a new Mario Kart because of Switch 2. We're also going to get a couple of things. There's a new Metroid Yeah. Staccato's like ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be a combination of factors, to be fair. But who replaces them? Universal? I guess they basically are in the same lane. They operate a streaming service. They're in entertainment. They're a movie and film television studio. They have a network and channels. Wow. So one thing they fell behind on was the sports aspect. They do have sports. They just don't have ESPN kind of sports. That's weird. Huh. I have to take a look. Aren't they already listed? Aren't they already in it? Hang on. Da, 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 da. Well, I guess. Huh. Huh. Interesting. All right. Sorry. When I start going off researching stuff, that's when we end up with dead space. What's up, Tolls? Good to see you. Jonas does like Comcast. Yeah, Comcast is publicly traded parent of Universal. Yeah. All true. Of the 30 companies in there, Disney's there. But like I said, you are supposed to like swap like for like in a sector. I don't think there's anybody else in there. Of the 30 companies in there. Huh. And of course, I don't know. I think the only Comcast Universal might be the only equivalent. Salty Demon. That's funny. Can't highlight it. Disney stock price up 24% since 2016. S&P 500 up 251%. Dow can't stick with this dog. It does drag him a bit, doesn't it? I'd have to evaluate. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Jared thinks Comcast or Netflix. Netflix isn't in the same sectors though. With Disney, you got a lot covered. Same with Comcast. I don't know. The representative in an area. The idea that Disney wants to fool you and make you think, or at least Iger wants to fool you and make you think they're a tech company. That's quite laughable. But that's just my opinions. You don't have to agree with them. Let's see. 9:36. We've got a little bit of time. Got a little bit of time. All right. Yeah, but they're like the complete entertainment company, right? Doesn't represent a breadth. Comcast Universal would be perfect. Comcast would be ideal, despite the fact that there are a lot of things. Comcast would shift. So Comcast is shifting a lot of dead weight right now, if you look at it that way, by dumping their fake news and a bunch of stuff that's going to just clutter up and make their bottom line look worse. You think AT&T will encourage another spin between Discovery and Warner Brothers? I'm trying to think about what the field looks like in 2 years. I think Allen Group is going to have some problems down the road. They're a small player. I mean, there's a few people that want to play in the big boy space that just don't have the chops. Skydance, Paramount, whatever that ends up being eventually, can probably be a player riding off of, the trust fund, baby. I don't know. We could be looking at a whole different field here in 2 or 3 years. Yeah, we've seen some decent movement the last day and a half for sure. Yesterday, like I said during the 6-minute daily, I mean, the push came out of tech oriented ideas again, Tesla, Meta, IBM. But regardless of the big hit that Nvidia took because of stolen tech by China, who knew? With this DeepSeek thing, I think the future's still in the compute power, which is why Musk is so heavy on it. Think of all the data he's going to collect from all the vehicles on the road all the time. Interesting. And it'll only speed up learning, machine learning. So a lot of really good tech stocks to be involved in, that's for sure. Consult a professional, though. I'm not giving you advice. Oh, my voice is getting lower and lower. Yeah, I was moving away from the microphone. I kept leaning back to think. All right. Donovan's out of here. Good to see you. Have a great day. Okay. One final pet peeve. Let's see. We've only had a couple of them. Wait a minute. You're getting ads? Okay. Some people are getting these. Some people aren't. I've been noticing a trend. How are you getting ads in the middle of a live stream? That's weird. I have to see if I can replicate that. YouTube crashed your tab. So much for trying to save America. That's so weird. All right. Okay. Let's see. I talked about peeing on the toilet seat, how I avoid the one that used to bother me at the airport. I am not a fan of people who park at a gas station, which only has like 4 or 8 pumps, and go in and like eat at the little hot dog area or whatever. I'm like, dude, come on. If you're going to have lunch, have lunch. Just don't park where I can pump gas because there's a limited amount of pumps here. Okay, that's a pet peeve. It bothers me. You're taking up a space. Look, it's not a Buc-ee's, okay? At a Buc-ee's, you could like go to have a nap because there's 12 billion pumps out there, right? You know, and only you are going to take a nap, maybe a handful of people. But there's a billion pumps, so everybody can get one. And when somebody else goes in, buys their soda, heads back out on the road, you got another pump open. When you only have 8 pumps, come on now. Just annoying. That's right. Do not block the pumps. That's the way it is. It makes me crazy. I will say thank you once again to Magnify for the link to this place that I now have the address of that I'm going to go check out. It's supposed to be the best sandwiches. So, but do not block the pumps. Just park to the side. Yep. It drives me crazy. People who block the grocery aisle, to have a bloody cover. Oh, you have no idea. So the community area that surrounds me, everybody knows each other just because while I'm in an enormous metro area, the locals know each other. So I have to actually be nice and polite and wave and say hi and stuff like that. But in the grocery store, you're right. It's dumb. There's like, like you get 3 or 4 people parked in an aisle. You're like, all right, I'm going to go around. It's a pain in the butt. Istophobos says the stream often freezes, so you have to refresh. You're serious? There's no reason for that. And maybe because the need for it too. Well, there you go. I just started hearing about it, and then it goes away. Then it's more frequent. I will let you know. I will. In fact, if you follow, I know you're over on YouTube as well. The community tab, I'm just going to kind of drop where I'm going to be, and maybe some other people will be with me. So there's that. Steph from My Nerdy Home wants to name the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of Buc-ee's. That sounds good. We should have corporate sponsorship of stuff like that, right? For $100 million, you can have the Gulf of Buc-ee's. We do it with stadiums. Yeah, the personal shoppers, indeed, Sean Carter. Yeah. Oh, man. Like all the stores that offer like curbside pickup, you're like, they have all these boxes that they fill up produce. That happens all the time. Yeah. It's kind of the worst because like most high-end markets, where the fancy foods are and stuff, they have such narrow aisles already, right? Trader Joe's, what's the one that Amazon bought? Anyway, they have these narrow little aisles. Like I have this like produce store around me that's very high end and specialty and like just the freshest produce, just the best. But their aisles are teeny tiny. They have these 4-foot boxes of whatever item they're selling you, potatoes or grapefruit or whatever. And, 4x4 foot. But then the aisles are like teensy tiny. Whole Foods. Thank you, bass player Iffy. Appreciate that. 2011 Iffy. So yeah. So when I hate that too. You know what I really hate? The biggest pet peeve before we break off from this and I send you along to Midnight's Edge in the morning. Unless you guys have others. But is video games that don't play like the cutscenes. I think if you're going to make a game, the cutscenes and the gameplay should look and feel the same. And that solves the problem for Jonas too, because then he's not looking at my face is tired dialogue wheel, which seems to annoy him. But at the same time, I mean, look at what we were able to do with Machinima all the way back in the first Xbox days. Do you guys remember that? Red versus blue? If not, look it up. It's amazing. But, yeah. Hey, how about this? So we have casinos on rivers. How about we let casinos bid for rights for river names? All right. I'm going to say that with the most recent update from YouTube, they may have mastered the idea of shutting down your tab or overloading it, memory loading it, so that it crashes. John Monkey says, my browser just crashed. See? Gosh. All right. Istafella says recycling is mostly a scam. Anyway, there's a documentary I would like to do a watch party with here, actually, on YouTube, that actually talks about that. Sam says, thank you, Sam. Call it the Gulf of the Americas, that everybody's included. Well, yeah, because we have North and South America. Except not really. I don't know. I think the most coastline. Admiral Teague. What's up, buddy? Says, my biggest pet peeve is when I'm stuck on the train because of subway surfing. Darwin, save us from this stupidity. Yeah. But we don't do that anymore, right? We don't. We need more Darwin awards, right? Don't do dumb things. Luke says, holler if you hear me. I did. Cynthia Carter says, probably a crumbling empire in 20 years. Their African and other satellites got what they wanted from China. And don't think they aren't exploiting China too. Yeah. Well, it's interesting what's happening in China. I'm going to have to take a look at that because I think there's some significant differences in what's actually happening there versus what's being reported from there, because nobody believes they had a 5% growth. We've got SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor for 5 Culture Casino cash coming in with a last moment super chat saying, have you ever had a wine bottle bounce on you that didn't break? Yes. Yeah, that's not a pet peeve, though. It's a good thing. Especially, it's like my last bottle of Pinot Noir. Oh, man. I need to go get some. So one of the great things that still exists on Disney property in Florida, in Disney Springs, is George's, Wine Bar George. They have tapas plates and in fantastic wine selection. That's a light evening of entertainment. I might do that. Invite some guests over there. And thank you for the $5 Culture Cash. Hey, Sith Jawa says, my browser crashed too. Keeps happening. If you're running a ad blocker. That may be some of the reason. I think the code on YouTube side of things actually just kind of memory loads your tab. I think that's what they're going to try to do. Probably wouldn't happen on the phone, I think, as one of our good friends here in the audience says, Randall Orser. So, Sticks America. I think the subway surfing has calmed down a lot since it got kind of bloody. Oof. That's so good. You don't make friends by exploiting people's truth. True. Very true statement. All right. We got to get you over to the next location. Midnight's Edge in the morning. So we're going to take Sean Carter's $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Have you tried pomegranate wine? I've made pomegranate wine, my friend. It is a beautiful, you treat it like an ice vine and like a port. And it's great for desserts. Pomegranate wine is great for desserts. A lot of ice vines are. Yeah, I've made my own apple cider. I mean, I've done a lot of that type of stuff. Yep. I've got the carboys, the zillions of carboys to prove it. Thrawn Keel. Someone I know is Marcone. Is the Phobos. It only happens on certain streams. I wonder if it's related to the streaming platform you use. I don't know. I mean, mine's not, for the most part, this is a stable connection. So I don't know. It's pretty wild. Kalikio Caddy says that's exactly what's happening. YouTube memory is loading your tabs, forcing it to crash if you have ad blockers. That's why I support Rumble. Well, there you go. Yeah. Even with my ginormous amount of onboard memory, things get loaded. I actually have it tell me sometimes that the memory is and I have to reload. Let's see. I'm late, but here. Good morning, Hampton. We are wrapping up, but thank you for being here, Hampton. Good to see you, and a hearty good morning to you. I like 60% of India doesn't have toilets. Eesh. Okay, that's a pet peeve. Hey, Latino Slant, I watched that movie. I was going to reach out to you this weekend and see if we could figure something out. Because I'm going to be out of town starting Tuesday next week. But I would love to interview your friend, talk about the movie. Just let me know. Let me know. If no ad blocker, YouTube tab is still crashed. That's insane. It's probably Chrome. Now that Chrome is trying to steal all your information, this may be the last day that I use Chrome. Or maybe I use it for a few more days until I get back, and then I go full-time to another browser. I think that might be a safe choice. All right, I got to dip out. You guys are incredible. I appreciate all the support today. Well, always. You guys are always there with me. Tomorrow we have the Saturday news update, and then in the evening, I think I'm on somebody else's stream. So looking forward to that. Unfortunately, this afternoon, I have a social engagement. So there will not be a post-flight, but that will return when I return from vacation in the middle of February. So do pay attention to that. You guys are incredible, and thank you for the compliment, Davina. I appreciate that so very much. Do me a favor, and Lorena's. Oh, yeah, that's right. Lorena's stream. Yep. And I'm not sure about late night culture, but I think we will have a late night culture this Sunday, just not the following Sunday because it's Super Bowl Sundays. And I also will be in flight, most likely. So I'm flying during the big game. Yay. I'm also going to fly right over the dome during the game. So, yay. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. For real.
Why, hello there, random citizen. Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to Culture Casino yet?
Well, no.
Friggin' A.
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.